Joining us. My name is Silvia. I collaborate with the OpenEdX team, and I'm here to introduce my colleague Javier Viñuales for the next talk. Javier works at Grassway and Open Sistemas. Grassway is an edtech solution strongly focused on data. So Javier is an online learning expert. He's been working in the edtech business for several years now and collaborating with OpenEdX for a lot of time too. So we hope you enjoy the talk, Data and AI applied to eLearning. If you have any questions, you just have to leave them like in the previous talks in the chat that you will find on your left. In the part where it puts to, make sure that your questions are directed to everyone instead of nearby so that everyone can read them. And also, if you can put the name of the speaker first. So question for Javier, because we have two tracks at the same time. So it's better like this so that we know that the question is for us. So hope you enjoyed the talk, and let's begin. Javier, whenever you're ready.
Thank you very much, Silvia. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you everyone here in the room. And I'm going to talk about data and AI applied to e-learning. And I hope you are going to enjoy and to ask some question about this thing. Okay. So, well, first I want to begin with some sentences, some quotes I love. First one is about, well, what is the education? And education is not about thinning the heart. Education is about helping every student success. So it's by the great Andrew Ng, okay? And the second one is from Fei-Fei Li, this well-known researcher from Stanford University. It's well, the quote is often tell me my student that not to be misled by the name artificial intelligence. There is nothing artificial about it. AI is made by humans and intended to behave by humans and ultimately to impact humans' life and human society. So, well, this is very great insight about what is and what is not AI. It's about what we are going to develop, and it's nothing about the magical thing, because it's a lot of maths behind this and a lot of things, a lot of ways to afford some kind of problems. Okay, some words about our team. Our team is a great set of group of people developing code or working in infrastructure and or service, thinking about ways to manage customers to get more relation with some projects, for example, with OpenEdX. This is our team, and this is our service, and this is not a commercial talk, so nothing more than we are developing a product and a service on top of OpenEdX, WordPress, staffed by our own, and to get some kind of universal service and powerful service. And we are working a lot in data staff and infrastructure staff to get cost reduced service and a good service. And this is our recipe to do that, okay? And I'm going to jump directly to the center of the talk about the importance of unifying data outside the LMS, okay? First is the 3 points I'm going to talk about. The first one of all of them is that way. OpenEdX may not be the center, okay? But what I want to mean with this. This is our usual vision of one deploy of an LMS, working with OpenEdX or whatever you want. it's a kind of geocentric vision of the universe. This one, okay? We are the center of the universe. OpenEDX is the center of the universe. Our deployment is the center of the universe, and all are like satellites circling around us, and this is not true, okay? The good point is a kind of heliocentric point of the universe, where we are not the center of the universe. The center of the universe are the learners and the experience and the data they are generating. Data generating with the activity or the metadata of the courses or the data, okay? And more complex reality because we are integrating not only our LMS, for example, OpenEDX. It's usual to find another LMS like Moodle or Canvas are both open source code, or WordPress, or more content management systems, or internal management system of corporate system like from Microsoft or from Google, or external systems related directly with Linux environment, for example, another service like a Cornerstone, or content services, or batch services, assignment and grades like video session or proctoring services, or more. Okay, and this is for showing that the complexity is more than we are only in the center of the universe, and this is because all these systems are generating data, and we need this interest. It's really interesting to manage this complexity and gather all the data in the same point, okay? And in the same point, in the very beginning, we are going to think about, for example, to create a data lake. This is a good idea, okay? Not directly use a kind of SQL database or regulated database, because the good way to do that is to get in the same point all the data without without any transformation in the raw format, okay? Because we are get a structure file in a structure file, or file wherever you want. You are going to gather from all the complexity of the services, and this is the very beginning of the way. All this is for offer the data scientists and the technical people to manage directly the information in the raw format. But the truth is that we are going to get this picture. We are going to get a kind of data swamp, okay, with more noise, because this is we are the danger here is to lose a kind of veracity, that the alignment of our data from the reality outside the IT system, and we need to see what is happening. And this is because we need a kind of governance on top of this reality with a data hub. A data hub, I mean, a system on top of the data lake to get more layers to get some kind of governance to process, to get structured data processing and maintain its veracity. This first point is really important. The second one is to work in the security layer. The third one is to get more fast way to retrieval of the data. And the fourth one is a technical one, because it's needed the ACID properties to the data lake. So this is because it's very important to put on top of a regular data lake a kind of data hub to empower the ecosystem in the single point of gather all the data to get this picture. And the third important point is the APIs and standards. Okay. This is a must-have, because if we don't get this one, or we are going to, we don't get this point, we are get the bad developer experience. Okay, we need to ensure integration and minimize the learning curve. Okay? Second one, because we are going to get a lower cost, and third one, because it's really important and it's not usual to think in long term, and it's something needed. Okay, it's easier to scale if we think in this way. If we use APIs to integrate different systems and not the use of hard integrations, because it's a really bad way to do the things, and we are going to assure a better maintenance phase in after that. Okay. The second part of my talk is about the antecedents and trends in data and AI in e-learning. Okay. Well, first, in the very beginning, okay, we until very recently we were in this moment in e-learning. Okay, a kind of discovering the wheel moment regarding the data and AI in e-learning, because the picture were, if we compare with another sectors, this sector, for example, high-tech companies, banking, insurance companies, logistic marketing, and a lot of sectors, they are in a rocket, okay, in a flight to the moon moment, using AI and data. But in e-learning, because, well, maybe because the use, or maybe because the use of e-learning is not so massive until the last year, because the pandemic, it was not so necessary to get this kind of things in e-learning. But the last year was very good for the use of AI and data in e-learning. Okay, we until the last year we were using good stuff, but classical stuff of data analysis, like, for example, statistical based analysis of learning behavior, or rule prediction process for tutoring, or inductive inference, or rule association to advanced support. This is the beginning of the race. Okay. And IB, statistical analysis, is the use of distributional choices or distributional functions based mainly the use of, for example, Gaussian distribution to manage the frequency and some kind of metrics, classical metrics, the mean, median, and so on. For some kind of things of the activity of the students in courses, or rule prediction process and inductive inference. That is this picture is about get the input, pre-process it, build rules from heuristics, and get the inference of these rules directly, and to get some kind of classification of the information, and nothing more. Okay, nothing about AI, or nothing about machine learning, or nothing about this kind of things. Or a more complex stuff maybe is the rule association based on agents for advanced support. That this is more usually used because the companies behind the customer service, this staff are they were using this stuff for years. Okay, for this to use agents, because the cost is lower than the humans staff to do that. Okay, but it's so simple because it's about building agents to support some points of kind of diagram, but without any adaptation to the changes. Okay, but what about the trends? Okay, and this is the importance of the last year to accelerate the adoption of the use of modern approach of big data or AI to the learning staff. And this is one of the the really good part of the pandemic we are living. Okay, these four points are not all the points, but are, in my point of view, the most important points that the people is trying to use in learning environments. The first one is the predicting individual learning performance or dropouts. Predicting the dropout is something really difficult to do. Okay, there are good papers, very good previous work. There are some people working in this direction, and this is very important in learning stuff. The second one is adaptive system for personalized course experience. This is very complex because, but very interesting and very necessary because all the students are different, and there are a lot of content, and there are a lot of online stuff. We can train to use different contents, adapt content to different students, and we are going to try to do that. And there are, in the same way, good papers about this. Or the use of virtual agents to offer an human-like support experience. Or one really important point is the student identity and activity verification. This is not only important in exams; it's important in all the cycle of the learning activity of one user in an environment. Okay. The first one is the predicting individual learning performance or dropouts. Okay. The problem is a very problem because in online learning we have between 10 or 20 file retention rate. Okay, is or higher. Okay, and the most important solutions within the use of AI is, well, improve the quality of content selection, or improve the tutoring staff or tutoring for, or aligning the themes with the motivation, and so on. And well, this is first pues, increasing the human dedication. It does not scale if there are many students. Okay, thinking about thousands of students. Or the second way is the use of data and machine learning. Okay, and this increase the effort, but this almost independent of the number of students. Okay, details about this approach, using the approach of the paper and of the bottom of the diagram. Well, they are using the big data set, a well-known data set of the Open University of UK. And this is a data set of 33,000 students in 7 courses in 2 years. And this is about 10 millions of records. And the use of logistic regression and input-output hidden Markov model, that is, both are algorithms of machine learning. They are getting near 84 of the performance of the detecting dropouts. And this model is useful because the instructor can talk or take some kind of measures to avoid the dropout of the students. Okay. Second one is adaptive system for personalized course experience. Well, on the right, you can see a VARC learning style model. VARC learning style model is four sets of types of different ways to get more efficient learning experience for different groups of students. Students that like more the visual stuff, or learning that prefer auditory or oral experience, or this a group of students that prefer lectures, notes, or textbooks to learn new information, or people that prefer some kind of hands-on or experiments, online experiments. This is because the name of work. Well, the problem is not all the students have to follow the same path to obtain the same level. Most important solution to solve this is try to match the content with the needs and style of the student. And way to do it is, first, is almost the same that the previous one: great human dedication during design and enrollment to align this both. It does not scale if there are many students as well. Okay. And the second one is the use of data in machine learning to get the above. And one model, I'm not going to detail the model, but one model is the one that is called PSDLR, or Personalized Self-Data Learning Recommender System, using three types of algorithms. First, one classification model using random forest. Second one is the block of personalization, that is this one. And the third one is a recommender model using content-based filter. And if you use this, and if you use in real time, you are going to align the content to the user's preference. The most important thing here is to develop this solution and to get a lot of information about the course contents. Okay, that is the previous point, the first point. Okay? And the last trend is the use of virtual agent to offer an human-like support service. Okay, and this is a well-known approach, but this is not so good in a lot of environments. The difference between chatbot and virtual agent is that chatbot is a kind of programmatic solution using rules and heuristic and softly some stuff of AI. And a virtual agent is an independent system that are interacting with you, real-time model, and adapting and learning from your experience to offer the best to do and to align with your behavior, okay, of support needs, okay. And this is what some services are working in this direction, and this point was really important in the last year because we had millions, tens of millions of learners using platforms, a lot of them without a good support. Okay, and this is a really important point of learning environment. And the last one is the activity and identity verification of the students. Okay, and this is a huge problem because there are a lot of people doing activities and doing exams, and we have a good proctoring services, but we need more. Okay, we need more because it's not only necessary the monitoring of exams. We need to monitor the activity to ensure that the people that the people that is doing the activity is the same that is doing exams and to getting the certifications and so on. And this is a really complex stuff. There are some good proctoring services online, but we need more. Okay. And what challenges we are facing from Graspway? We are facing two important ones: chatbot virtual agents and veracity with blockchains. And both are going to, we are going to develop this one in the 2 next years. It's a good and very interesting challenge for us. You are going to get some kind of information, maybe some kind of collaborations. First one, chatbot virtual agents. One of the key points, you already, I already said something about it, but this is the mix from chatbots and virtual agents. The use of agents to get more smarter chatbots, adapting the people, because the student tends to feel alone and not to have any speaking of human accompaniment. Okay? And this is very hard. Okay, and the pandemic in the last year was a demonstration, worldwide demonstration, that there are a lot of bad stuff in learning environments doing this. Okay, and we are going to develop solutions, parsing solutions using natural language processing system, and we will train bots to have learnings on different levels. 4 levels: interactive coaching to attract attention and motivate the student. Second one is reminders of dates and takes. Frequently asked questions to customized to the learner. And the last one is interactive review of past lessons. All of them are huge challenges for us. This is really, really cool stuff we are going to develop. Second one is the use of blockchain to work in the veracity stack. Okay, what is the relation of blockchains and the veracity of the activity of the user? Well, it's because blockchain is not more than storage in in a good way, because you are going we are going to build a layer of transparency and auditability to the complete learning cycle. Okay, working in these 4 points. First one is the verification of the identity of the learner. Okay, using some kind of biometrics niches of the activity of the user, and storing the activity here in the blockchain. The issue of digital certificates. And third one is the creation of personalized and verifiable itineraries. And the last one is the promotion of internal training through a kind of knowledge coins. All of the above, and the very important point of blockchain is that can be audited, because its history can be traced and it's not possible to alter. This is because we are going to use blockchain. Okay, this is because it's all about data activity of the user, and the use of blockchain to get this stuff. Okay. And the last point of my talk is about the importance of sharing knowledge and collaborating in open source community. Okay, what I mean here. Okay, all the previous stuff is about the use of data and machine learning stuff and so on to get and to solve some important challenges. But what is the draw of the machine learning stuff? Well, it's simple, no? It's something like this. But no, because machine learning is in the middle of the graph on the bottom. Learning is complex, And this is about a lot of maths. Classical learning, machine learning is on the top, but on the bottom is the neural net and deep learning stuff that is really complex, really complex. This is something that we need to learn to use, because it's not always the same way to get the good answers. You need to do the better questions and use the better ways in machine learning draw to get the answer in the good way. And this is something that is very well. This is very difficult. And this draw is about the compute power we are going to need to get the most important models we are using right now, and the time that these are going to changing until the last 10 years, until 2020. The compute power was following the Moore laws. So but in the last 10 years, we are 10 times the Moore's law. You can to think about you need to think about this, because it's something really awesome. It's very awesome. Okay, and this is something to be really worry about, because you are not going to get this amount of compute power to get the same result, like for example Google or Facebook or OpenAI. And these guys are training a lot of stuff. We need to use, for example, GPT-3 is a model, a huge model to natural language process, and this is huge. Okay, and it's impossible to retrain this model by your own. It's impossible. Okay, and this is the picture of the technology behind all this stuff. This is a big picture about all the technologies and vendors and so on. And this is something really complex. And only these three boxes in green are the stuff relating with machine learning and AI. And this is really complex, and there are a lot of things, and there are a lot of services. But the good news here is in red, it's all the stuff near related with open source, okay? Or services opening the data, okay? And on the foundation on all this stuff is this set of people here, and well-known Bestie, Tux, New, or the Apache Foundation, or the Open Source Initiative. And this is because we can collaborate and to get all this stuff right now to be used. And this is a very important point here. We need to collaborate all together. We need to share the knowledge, because it's very difficult to work in the area of artificial intelligence by your own. Some important benefits of knowledge sharing is access to data to be able to generate good models. It's really important. Access to model to learn from them and share it. Access to ways of processing the data, code, and methods. We need to reduce costs. You are going to reduce costs scaling through the APIs and AI cloud services, but developing with open source. And the last one is a really important one, because we are going to ensure ethical artificial intelligence throughout transparency in the data and the algorithm used in the models. And this is very important point. So collaborate and share knowledge always ensure a better future for everyone. And this is because we are all together working in this stuff. And this is because of ethics. Our work sharing the knowledge is important. So this is our final. Thank you and technical people. So if you are interested, we can talk. And thank you very much to everyone.
Great. Thank you, Javier. So now, if you want to stay for questions, you can stay, or you can go directly to the open space to meet other people since the event is finishing at 6. So whatever you prefer. I think we've received one question in the chat, so we can answer it fast, and I'm going to read it here. Since currently the main developers and deployers of AI are focused on profit seeking and social control, isn't the possible use of AI educational environments a great ethical risk?
Okay, this is a really good question. This is near related with the approach of open source and collaboration, open collaboration. Okay, if we develop sharing the knowledge, if we develop and work in open projects, we are going to get a more ethical approach of the artificial intelligence to the whole society, and this is, in my opinion, the good way to get this.
Okay, let me see if there are any more questions. To go, thank you. No, that would be it for the day. So thank you very much for joining us, and thanks, Javier. It was really interesting. So now you can go to the open space and meet people.